Let's wrestle this jack underneath here. We need to replace the center support bearing right here in the drive shaft. So we need to pull the drive shaft out to do that. Oh yeah, that center support bearing is toast. So let me just weasel in here. Loosen these up. Okay. I need to put it back in park. Yeah, I do. We're gonna go back in park. In park. If we can. Without knocking our camera over. Here we go. That was spooky. Spiderweb moved like a snake. We're about to have this drive shaft. Use a little wrench here as a pry bar, if we can get it in there. Oh, we will. There we go. There it is. Just like that. Those still feel good. You know what? That feels pretty good too. Okay, we're gonna take this here drive shaft out. Just a slippy slip. Got some suction in there. Come on now. Come on, drive shaft. I need to get a mallet on it. There it goes. Just flops off as soon as I think it will come off. Right now the weight is down. We're gonna put it back on with the weight down. And those still feel so happy. We like happy. Okay, let's move on up here to our little old support bearing. There it is. Does that real live nuts on top, don't they? They do. Yeah, it's like an 11/16. No, it's a 5/8. Okay, 5/8. Okay, we're back with the right tools. Let me shoulder walk back in here on my rock driveway. Look at that. So easy that is with long wrenches. Should have grabbed an 11/16 socket, but I didn't. Yeah, I don't have enough room for my arm, my sleeve. There we go. Now we go around to the other side. It's all about ringing the bell just right. Go back with our tiny ratchet. We can weasel quickly and easily. Good on you. But it is not ideal. Not ideal. Yeah, let's just be hopeful. This will just fall right off of here. Looks like parts of it will. I don't know about the whole thing. This part will. Multi-piece unit here. That thing's all kinds of funky. Let's lube that up with something. Something wet, slippery. Something like that. Okay, maybe we won't dump ATF everywhere. We were not. Maybe it's low. Or not at a terrible angle. One of the two. Put a little lube in there. Just a little bit. Now let's pull this old torch here out. Burns-O-Matic. Looks like a charcoal grill. Usually when you're using heat like this to break something loose, you want to get it so hot it's about to start cutting the metal, what it seems like. And then it pops right off. So as soon as it's glowing red, it'll just fall off. Be no problem at all. When it does, you have to make sure it doesn't land on your shoe or something. You can forget how hot it is. It'll be hot. So don't let it fall on a pile of oil or gas or on your kid or on anything that might be important to you. Any lady friends, important car parts. Look at this thing, all kinds of toasty. Gently pick up my pry bar. See if there's any finagling I can do. Not yet, but there is some heat coming off. Yeah, get this thing red hot. I do have an ABC fire extinguisher behind me too. Good to have. I'm in a wooden building, so it's pretty good to have a fire extinguisher. Let's see if that did anything at all to break this thing loose. Okay. We're just bending. We're just bending parts. We're not falling off. You know what I might do? It's a good idea. I think I will. I had this fun slide hammer that I bought years ago, and I don't know if I've ever been able to need it. I might have pulled axles with it a time or two, but that's probably about it. It has some grabbers. It might be perfect for that. Would that be grabby enough? Doesn't look like it. It looks like a pretty useless slide hammer. If I use these, this would need to be real short. These don't have much of a grab anyway. Oh man. The slide hammer part itself looks nice. Okay, back onto the torch. Well, here comes the wind. I need to shut the door. These feel so good. But it's getting in the way of my heating this up. There we go. Yeah, we're getting weird out there. Wind's starting to blow pretty good. You just heat it up for a long time. Probably not near long enough, but we're going to give it a quick little whistle, see if it moves. Just bend in the back. Bending that flangy thing behind it. Aren't I? Yeah, we're just bending. Give it a little tap, 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 taparoo. We don't want to tear up the old drive shaft though in the process. Yeah, a press would be great, but we don't have a press. I tried to buy one once at Harbor Freight. They had one on display, but they didn't have any for sale, which I didn't know why they couldn't just sell me the display. Since they're displaying something that they don't have but they have the display, and I would think they'd want to eventually sell that. And why display anymore if you're sold out anyway? But here we are, using a torch and some pry bars. So as I was saying, you just heat it up with a torch. And it pops right off. Effortlessly. Just back this off. I'm sure glad this handle's long enough. Holy moly, I never knew I'd need that much leverage against this jack. Okay. Get this old doodad off of here. The bearing itself feels okay, and I probably could have just wrapped the new bushing-ish stuff around it maybe, but probably not. Let's see if I can get this out of here. How about like that? Okay, now that that's out, I'm gonna lube that up with something. Put the new one on. How about some bearing grease? I've always heard that makes pretty good lube. Smear a little bearing grease on there. Get nice and slick. Okay, now we just press the new one on, which we're going to do this side towards the transmission and this side toward the rear end. Shorter handle. This one's just so much handle here. Too much to handle. Let's take a look at that. See if we got it around all the way. Still feels like a bearing. I haven't ruined it. Yeah, I think we got her in there. Cool. Let's go put this back in the truck. Okay, get the bolts. Ugh. These were 11/16, right? That side's not. That side is. The other side is 5/8. Okay. 5/8, 11/16. Okay, we can do that. Put a little anti-seize on these. Since we love making multiple trips under the truck, let's come back to this trip with the bolts. Bolt number 1. Bolt number 2. And we'll come back with the drive shaft. Put all these big expensive wrenches in a pile. Okay, hop on out. Here's the part where you don't let the freshly greased parts hit the rock driveway. Oh, okay. Just a splinaroo. Oh, get you some drive shaft. There you go. I've heard a lot of people say you have to clock these the same way that they came off, and I've tried it, and I've done the other. It doesn't really make a difference at all. If it's balanced, it doesn't matter where it is, in my opinion. Okay, you're in there. You just put the little old nuts on there. The washer on under the bolt head and under the nut. Just because we like it that way. Okay. All threaded up. Okay, now zip these on in. Try to decide if we're gonna put brakes together or take apart the rear end. There's a part of me that really just wants to go ahead and throw that all, throw the old posi in it. 5/8. Well, my 11/16 socket is gone. Taken that and used it somewhere else. Yeah, I think I took all my other 11/16 stuff into the shop. I'm gonna use this. All done. With that said, not really. This is my first tightening. Ching-chong. Okay. It's not gonna fall off. Okay, now I can get this one finished up. How about that? Okay, that's back in. I thought we know it. The truck is back in park. That's right. Oh. Transmissiones looks nice and leaky. Yeah. Okay. Picked up all my tools from this region. Move them on down.